Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is 4th of March 2012 and this is Tester Towers Live, where we learn to be a better tester. Yes, this is a show about software testing. We talk about what it means, what skills we need, how to recognize the skills, how to train yourself and others in testing, and in future we'll also do some live testing with commentary where I point out what I do, why I do these things. You can point out in the chat what I do wrong and so on and so forth. The usual format for this is that I'll do the talking most of the time and I'll answer your questions in the chat later on after I'm done. Of course, you can let me know if there's a problem with audio or video and I'll try to correct it as we go. Today's show is how the Tester Tower Live was started and what's going to be it about. It was started because I'm awful big fan of the Day 9 show and I think this will be a good thing for it as well. Video right now is just to answer the question in the chat. Is that video should be the normal I don't know, screen capture shot as I was live with black bars, isn't it? No video? Come on, I don't want to start again. Let me just check the live stream for myself. It was working for a while ago. Do you mean it isn't? You see a black picture? No, it's fine. Yeah, it's just the front page. It's normal. It's an overlay picture before I start doing anything. So thank you, Oliver, for interrupting me as I was about to discuss and show you what's the show about and how are we going to go about it. Meaning that in the future there will be shows about live testing, there will be some fun episodes and some where I talk about different things in testing that's currently hot topics on the internet or something like that. But the show got started because of Day 9, and Day 9 is a pro gamer who turned into the broadcaster and is now one of the biggest names in esports. That's how he's described in the Forbes 30 under 30 page. And if you don't know what Forbes is, it's the big international American-based company that keeps track of all the companies and startups and everything, those who are making themselves known in the world, different companies and such. And being in there is quite a big deal. I'd like to add he's also very funny, passionate, and does also that stuff. But being a gamer and how does that relate to testing? This is, I'll give you a link in the chat that I cannot very goodly show right now in the stream. I don't know if you can see it. This works. Perfect. Teething issues are normal in every new show. I'll start typing some stuff up so you know what I'm doing. First of all, I'm talking about Mr. Day 9 and his name is written with the brackets like this, and even if my typing skills don't do many good, then it should work. He's a pro gamer, as I said, for Starcraft and now of course Starcraft 2 as well, because that's out already. He casts the shows, he does things as that, but most importantly what he does is a Day 9 TV, where he talks about the different things that the pro gamers on Starcraft 2 do, how they solve their problems in game, what kind of neat techniques they use, and he goes into it very deeply. He analyzes it and lets you guys know so everybody else can learn the game as well. If you don't know what the Starcraft 2 is, then it's a real-time strategy game. I'll go it like that. It's an RTS game. It's highly competitive. It has very big scenes in Korea. It's like I don't know, basketball, NBA in US is like really big competitive thing. In Europe, America as well, but not as much. The game is very complex. It has many layers. You have to do small things, and you have to consider big things as well all the time. Some has said it's the chess of 21st century. Blizzard sells the game for money like $60 a game or something like that. But you can download the demo version, which is free, and you can play several several single-player campaigns with the demo, and custom multiplayer games with it, so you can get the feel of it, how it does, how it plays out, what it requires, and so on and so forth. Now, how is this relevant to software testing? His show is called Day 9 TV, where they learn to be a better gamer. Do you see where the influence is coming? I guess you can do, it's easy. But the way he analyzes the games of the pro players is brilliant, in a way that he goes really thoroughly what they do and why they do it, and most importantly why it works, not only in that circumstances but later on as well in other types of games. And this and also he has another type of show that's called Newbie Tuesday, where he gives all he can about all he can give about the skills and problems in StarCraft 2 and how to improve it, how to improve yourself in that game to players. Interestingly, the problem he runs into trying to teach the game to others are the same kind of problems that we see as testers, the way we try to teach the testing skills to everybody else. It's really similar. The same kind of people problems. People don't know what they're doing, although they think they're doing that thing, and I keep track of everything, and I know what am I doing, and so on and so forth. But I'll go just forward with this and show what it means. I'll just type in here. Here's a pro game, games analyzing, and it's a Newbie Tuesday, which are most important. I'll give some examples later on as well. Although the game itself, I mean Starcraft 2 versus testing, let's do this its own node in the mind map. They're not very similar, in a sense that the games take only 15-20 minutes on average to do, and the situation doesn't seem to change as much. I mean, there are only 3 races you can play, and there are a handful of maps, so the games seem to be turning out very similar all the time, if you just look at it. In testing, we have different projects, we have that go on for months, and we don't know anything later on if it can be used, and so on and so forth. I mean, we could be testing a web application from a plumbing company up to synchronization of robotic arms in open heart surgery or something really complicated. But in other ways, they are almost very similar as well. And no, I don't want to type it there. I want to type it somewhere else. I want to type it here. That they are different in terms of time and let's say complexity. No, not complexity, but say something else. But they're similar in a sense that they require situational awareness, and because you need to be able to know what your opponent does in a game, how he moves his units, what kind of units there are, and thus understanding what do I do right now. What can I counter his whatever he's doing? We need to be thinking in real time. We don't have, as a players, we don't have time to go through our notes during the game because, well, the other player has done so many things, and if you just sit back and say, what can I do now? Other player has just killed all your units. In testing, we cannot waste time in the real world as well, because if we take too much time to plan, then we won't have any time to do the actual testing. That goes about test cases and everything that as well. Social aspects of competitive gaming are in a sense similar as testing, because we need to talk to all sorts of different persons, and we need to understand how do they react to different things, how to make them do what we want them to do, e.g. developers, project managers, stakeholders. We need to get information from them, we need to get support from them, we need to show them how we do stuff, and that thus we need to know how to analyze them, how to know them, how to just speak to them. In game it's a bit different, but still you need to know who your enemy is. In tournament games you need to know how he usually does stuff, and if he's suspectable for making mistakes if you provoke him, or how do any person deals with tournament pressure. He has lost a lot of games already. How will he react to any strategy which is kind of spooky or something like that, to throw him off his normal game and thus make it easier for me to win. And of course personal aspects, which are even more important or more similar for testing, because it's really easy in the game to think, yeah, I'm doing everything correctly, but then you go off later on and see the replay of your game and you say, oh, I wasn't doing anything at all like I thought I would be doing. That's the same in testing. You think, yeah, I'm keeping track of everything I'm thinking through all the necessary things and so on, but there's very little chance to go back and analyze. But if you could, like we do in some testing exercises, then we see that, oh, I forgot to ask about this information, and I didn't even think about different tools we could use, or I didn't even think about concurrency issues in that software. Oh no, it's normal. Of course, there are other aspects as well, but personal things that we do and how players should distinguish between learning and playing and analyzing the skills that are needed. And these kinds of problems is what makes these very similar. And that's why I think we can take a lot of information from Day 9 about this, how he tries to teach players Starcraft. We as testers can learn how to be better testers by trying to use that information in our favor. Day 9 speaks of how to become a better player, means how to understand the problems you have and how to solve those problems. Problem solving. Let's see if I can do it from here. Perfect. Here are some things he talks about in his shows. It's adapting versus changing. Now, in games, that means that you shouldn't make big changes, but you should make small ones to improve your current strategy that you're using, to see if it can be made any better, if it can stand on for another different strategies that the enemies are using, rather than throwing it all away and trying complete new tactics that you're not good with and that you're not familiar with, and thus you cannot actually use as well as you think you could, and you still be losing lots of games because you are not even as good as you were before. In testing context, I would say that this means that even if you get new ideas, ideas, you should use only a couple of them to improve what you're doing right now. If you throw away everything, then you won't do it as good. I mean, if you're using test cases for testing and you go to a conference or similar place and you learn that there might be other ways to test than just creating specific test cases and then running them and maintaining them and doing all sorts of those things. Make a small change, like start creating a bit more generalized test cases and call them test ideas. You still do them, you can still follow them, your managers will be happy because you still use test cases, they don't care that you call them test ideas. But you will have you have more time for testing because you use less time for maintaining and updating them, and you actually even find more ideas if you're a good tester and pay attention to other things as well. And you can do this with anything that's new idea. But if you throw out all the test cases and start saying, we will do only ad hoc exploratory testing, and your managers will say, no, you can't do that because we don't know what it means. But they won't say that, they don't know what it means. But they say, but we won't have any traceability, so on and so forth. They won't allow you to do it. And if you can't afford to quit that job and do something else, then you're still stuck with the same test cases. But if you take that small idea and start gradually going it to another direction, then you can later on get it done the way you want to. What he else talks about? Insert. It's the Fun Day Monday is another Fun Day Monday is another of his shows like Newbie Tuesday. It's a show where he poses arbitrary rules to gameplay to make it really hard, and the funny, of course, that's the fun day. This promotes players or arbitrary rules. This promotes and provokes players to be innovative, to veer away from the standard gameplay that they usually do, and to follow these rules, figure out many strategies, solutions, ideas, how to make that thing work in their games. Although most of the results are just funny failures and not relative to anything else, but sometimes there comes good, very good, and very, very good things that can be used in a normal gameplay if you adapt that into it. If you find yourself in a situation where you can use that idea, and then it makes the game a whole lot of diverse. I think diverse is a word. It makes the game more diverse, and you can find more things to do, more cool ideas. You can evolve your game better. You'll be a stronger player by knowing how to do stuff. And I still haven't fixed my screensaver. Yes, you can stop laughing about that. But how does that relate to testing? Is that from time to time you should do the same thing. Do something unusual with your product, either to learn what it does. If you, for example, set yourself a rule that you will never press OK in any dialog box open window. New window or dialog box or something like that. You will never press OK, you'll try to close it in another way or something like that, and see if you can then follow through some uses scenarios. If that provokes something else from the product or something like that. Giving you more information, what the product does, how it can be used. Maybe some people don't want to use it or do something like that. You'll be astonished. Try it. Try it. I dare you. But another thing is to use not only your product, unusual product usage, but also some tools you could use for different things. You could use your environment, different environment. Oh, I can't spell it, but environment. Still wrong. Environment, something like that. For example, if you're using let's say a handheld device, then you use it in a complete darkness, for example, to see how things lights up if you're developing a game for that, because things look different in a normal daylight and in a dark night. Something like that. So it's and what I want to say with this is that if you do these kind of different things, you'll end up in a situation where you're okay with unknown surroundings. If you're okay if you're thrown into water in an unknown place, you know how to behave, that it's okay, it's just another testing situation, I know how to proceed. You train yourself into being okay with unusual situations, and you can swim freely in a sense. You don't freeze in headlights sort of way, because you're not always going to be testing the same thing. You could be testing all sorts of different things in the future if you want to work in other companies as well, and then you can just okay, this is like that, I can do it. It helps you to do more stuff, find new areas to test, find more bugs that might be really relevant. And this doing stuff on the edge, by the way, in games, going back in gaming, is also supported by some designers. If you take a look at the episode from day 9 about Kingdoms of Amalur, I'll link it in all the links that I give and talk about the stuff. I'll link it in the Tester Towers live webpage, testertowers.com. You'll find it there, and it'll be easier to give comments and feedback from there as well. But where the game designer goes out and says, please do everything crazy, I want to see crazy stuff being done, because I know the normal gameplay is working. I don't care about that, but I want to also know that everything is fine when players go nuts if they try to run to the end boss from the first level without doing any of the quests or anything, and all. It's really fun to see that. And I encourage you, gaming that way is different and more fun. I'll take just a swig of water. Otherwise, my mouth will run dry and you can't understand the word that I say. The third thing I want to touch about is eliminating assumptions and thinking like a pro. Eliminating assumptions and thinking like a pro. That's a series, I think it's 400th series that Day 9 did. The link is also in the Tester Towers live page, you'll find it there, where he talks a lot about how the pros play, but in a different way that shows some of the problems that people actually deal with when thinking about learning and how people learn stuff and what's around that. He talks about asking the right questions. He talks about that knowledge is not equal to skill, and so on and so forth. I actually don't want to discuss about this more than I have to, or I have done so far. That show isn't about Starcraft. It's just about these assumptions that how to learn stuff and how to ignore the things you've been taught in the school. And it's really good. Just go check it out. It's published in 4 episodes, I think. You'll find a link and you can continue that. He makes some games with you through the stream as well. Be sure to do those. They're very educative and can be used later on in your own life as well, if you can find somebody to do them on, either your fellow testers or colleagues or even developers if they're up to the task. One more thing, the last thing actually I want to talk about what he does is that he promotes esports to people. Esports is sports on PCs and other games, but he wants everybody to be polite, because there's a lot of hatred out there and so forth, and he really promotes for people being polite, in a sense that there's no real need to be angry if you lose a game in a Starcraft, because that's something to learn from. And getting over this problem with being angry if you lose a game is silly, because you can learn from your mistakes. And if you learn if you learn to get over your anger, then you'll be more I don't how to say that, you'll learn more things easily. You'll play games easily. You won't freeze in the headlights as such, and actually you'll have more fun while gaming. They call it tilting in the Starcraft 2 universe. I'll post another link in the Desktop Towers Live page about how to get over tilt. It's hosted in the, I think it's in the Liquid Team Liquid Wikipedia page, and it's really good if you have problems while testing, if the developers are really angry, or if management tries you to force into something really stupid like bug counting as a metric, performance metric for testers and their salaries. That makes me really angry, but I cannot show them the project managers that, because I have to explain it to them normally. Otherwise they just say, they won't listen to your arguments if you deliver them angrily, and you won't be able to explain your position and why it's wrong to do it that way if you're angry and you're scared about the future, and they won't listen to you. But if you're polite, if you're calm, then you can express it, then they listen to you, everything will be fine. And of course it's the same situation if the developers give you constantly bad code, or your other people find errors from areas that you tested and claim to be bug free. Well, significant bugs won't be found, you say, but they still find them, and you feel like really bad inside. But to get over that, and to ask them, how did you do that? How did you find the things? How did I miss them? Oh, there's something I didn't do, or something I didn't think about. Okay, how can I do it so that I can do it next time as well? So I won't lose, I won't miss those bugs next time. So it'll be like getting over your anger, being a team player, of course, fighting the management. Always be polite, be friendly. Of course, remember that emotions are good heuristics. If you feel confused, then there's probably a bug in a system somewhere, or if you feel angry that the system doesn't do what you want it to do, then it's probably a problem with the system, even though it's according to specification or something like that. So, going back to talk about Desktop Towers Live, the show that we do, or will be doing future on. Oh, yes, perfect. I'll come back to TTL. It's I want this to be a kind of show where I can discuss things and show things of testing and talk about them, so you can hear and learn them more easily than sleeping over some articles or listening to boring ISTQB testing seminars or something boring like that. I hope you'll will enjoy it in the future, because doing stuff live is more fun. And I'll do more mistakes, and it's easier to laugh at me, and it'll be cool, I guess. I want you to feel good about what you do. I want you to show you how I do it. I don't write blog posts so well, so therefore I think talking live is better in the future. Yes, I know that Starcraft playing isn't the same as testing. There are different things, but you can use that information, how the Day9 gives assignments to you and what he points out that are important in the process of learning a complex thing rather than learning Starcraft 2. If you think about it that way, it'll be easier. What I want to tell more about this thing is that if we do it like here, it's a safe environment, meaning that in StarCraft 2 learning, it's easy, just hop into another game, play a game, see what you did, but in testing, you cannot test new stuff out during a live project that you're doing, because, well, if you're doing stuff that's wrong or not as useful, your employer might be a little bit mad about it. So finding that safe environment to learn and try stuff from could be difficult. There's a weekend testers that's going on. That's also a good thing that they do live, although they don't. They do it over Skype with chatting, rather than me talking or somebody else talking live. I'll probably hop into a weekend testers meeting as well and show what I do live here, and you can enjoy that at some point. Thus, I hope to provide a safe environment where you can learn from my mistakes rather than everybody else's. And I try to point out things that are necessary for learning what are the skills: the focusing, defocusing, noticing stuff, intention blindness, etc., etc. And of course, you can comment and guide me in a direction I need to go if you don't find it useful. It would be even better if you had a coach at your side. If you want to learn stuff, he can point things out more quickly than you can see and learn on yourself. But going to conferences and finding these kind of coaches is more difficult than it seems. Although James and Michael do coaching for everybody who wants to be a tester. Just look them up. If they have time, they'll coach you via Skype. I can also do that, I guess, if you drop me a line on Skype or here that you want to do it. But they are much better at it than I am, and I want to learn through here to do it. What else about Testers that was live? I think I'll talk about schedule. Well, I think I might be able to do a episode per month. Could be that I'll do it episode per week or whenever I have time to, but I'd like to do it one per month. There are a lot of things to do and I don't have time much for that. Yes, and as Oliver pointed out, also Anna-Marie Charette and Henrik Agater and two others do Skype-based coaching. I think AST website, Association for Software Testers, gives a good list for those as well. So thank you, Oliver, for that. Yes, once per month or whenever I have time or a very good idea. So I think that's about it for now. Meaning that I've talked about Day9, I've talked about, told about Tester Towers Live, what I want this to be in the future. Yes, this is the first episode and there are problems here, but I'll fix some of those. I'll probably get a better microphone so you'll hear my voice much more clearly rather than this 60 kroner cheap thingy that I'm using right now. And as I said, go to Day9, listen to his shows, watch him speak. He is a brilliant, brilliant guy, and just try to use those ideas that he talks about in your own world, in your own context. Try to analyze your skills. Try to give yourself something to do, something to learn, something fun to see if you actually do it. I'll go like that. Any feedback from you would be much appreciated. You can go give this to in Tesla Tower's live page in teslatower.com as a comments there, because the chat, well, can't be read if I'm not live. And we'll set up an email as well, probably you can write to. And I think that's about it. And have fun until next time. Thanks for watching. Good night.